Go for a ride? Want to go for a long ride all the way to Maine with Trucker and Tally? You better go get Trucker and Tally and be sure that they're ready to go. Go find Trucker and Tally.
Good morning, everyone. We're heading on a big adventure from Wyoming to Maine and back, and we'll take you along and explore all kinds of different places on the way.
We're in the far west Montana FWP campground, located near Rosebud, Montana. Traveling, I prefer to pick a campground where I don't have to unhook or have to do too much to get leveled up, if possible. This beautiful campground was perfect that way. The only drawback to it at all was that there were some other people in the campground and I couldn't let Rex and Tally just run. We never give Trucker that option, although he has door dashed on us a couple times. Only about half of the campsites at this campground have fire rings, but it was a nice clean site. And there was a nice, clean, well-stocked restroom. Good morning. First priority is coffee this morning.
With living in an RV with a fur family, we found it much easier than making the bed up with sheets and everything and trying to make it up every day, to just put a fleece blanket over the mattress and sleep in sweatpants, shirts, and use a poncho liner for blankets, and it's a lot easier to deal with and take care of. roof vent for the bathroom broke, and I have to see if I can get up there to tape it up when I don't have a ladder. Hopefully I can reach it off of the pickup here. I just might make it. Well, we're up. Now to see if any of this stuff will stick to the roof vent well enough to hold it together. This high quality plastic isn't so high quality. If I can tape this back together good enough to get this. I think I'm going to have to be in place there, and I won't be able to get it hooked back on. Hopefully this upholstery tape will stick well enough to the plastic. I knew I should have put a new knife blade in this while we left home. You always have to forget at least one thing when you're going to. Actually, that upholstery tape seems to stick really good. I tried a piece of this stuff earlier and yeah, well, I'm open on the wrong side, so I'm open right here and here, you know. This sticks really good to a lot of stuff, and it probably will stick good with this upholstery tape, but it didn't want to stick well to the plastic. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna put a bunch of pieces on here. I think that will keep it together until I can get a replacement. GMC stepladder.
50 to 60 million years ago, the Dakota prairie grasslands and badlands were once covered by a warm inland ocean known as the Cannonball Sea. It was bordered by very lush, swampy coastal forests. North Dakota's petrified wood was formed when ancient driftwood was buried in the silica-rich mineral water. The fossilized trees include ancient relatives of modern redwoods, like the sequoia, bald cypress, and other broadleaf trees that grew in the swampy environment. This is some of that ancient fossilized wood. There was a number of pieces right on top of the ground where we camped.
Good morning, everyone. We're in Buffalo Gap in the North Dakota grasslands. We stayed on top of a ridge last night with a gorgeous 360-degree view that we found by taking a wrong turn where a sign was missing. And we got the opportunity to test my high clearance RV in its first real serious off-road type use, and it did just fine coming in here. We had a beautiful sunset and a very pretty sunrise this morning. It was kind of cloudy sunrise, but it was pretty anyway. And we got the full flower moon last night. Absolutely gorgeous. And today we're going to head toward the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. We're in Medora, North Dakota. This is Theodore Roosevelt's first cabin that he had in his first ranch here. This was called the Maltese Cross cabin, and it was originally 7 miles south of Medora, and it was moved to a World's Fair, and then it was moved to Dickinson, North Dakota, and it finally was moved to Medora here, and is at the entrance to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Other than that, I'm not going to give you any of the traditional history that you could read in a book or look up online. I'll give you a piece that is probably very little known, if known at all. This cabin, originally 7 miles south of Medora, was just a little north of where my grandfather homesteaded. And my grandfather knew Roosevelt's 2 head wranglers, and they told my grandfather that Roosevelt and Marcus de Morris, that owned a packing plant here in Medora, got into a dispute, and that Marcus de Morris challenged Roosevelt to a duel. Well, Roosevelt had his choice. He could have accepted the duel or rejected it. If he rejected the duel, he would have been considered a coward. If he accepted the duel, he could pick the weapon and the distance. And Roosevelt accepted the duel and picked 12-gauge shotguns at 12 paces, and Marcus de Morris never showed up. Right next door to the entrance to the Theodore Roosevelt National Park, where the cabin was, is the location here. This chimney and footings that are here are where the Marcus de Morris packing plant was located.
The next night wasn't ideal. We were in a Love's truck stop. You got the truck noise in and out and the lights that are on all night, everything that way, but Love's treated us just fine. We're just getting started on our adventure. We have a long ways yet to go, and I'm sure we'll find a lot more good places to stay and interesting things to see. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and share it with a friend. And we'll see you next Tuesday with more of our trip to Maine.